was married 2 years ago. I was severely depressed, and I had an eating disorder, and I was in a very dark place. Sorry. And God met me because I started going to church at Circle of Hope in Philadelphia. I don't know if any of you guys know that church, but my wife at the time started a relationship with her manager at work and was not coming home until like 2 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock at night. So one night, this was a week after I was going to church for the first time in like 6 years. I was just praying to God for literally the first time in a very, like 6 years, and I was just like, God, tonight, please, I just want to go home and I don't want to have a panic attack. I just want to know that she's there and safe. And literally, as I was just praying, she called me on the phone and was like, hey, sorry. She was like, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm coming home, and I just got home and I'm good. And like, that never happened. That wasn't like a part of our relationship, especially then. So like, I just knew that God, like, was with me. About 2 weeks later, I started going to a community group there, and they just like were showering me with love. They made me a chocolate cake for my birthday, and like, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but like, that was huge for me at the time. And it's been quite a journey since then. So I moved to the city after a contract that I just did on a cruise ship. I performed on cruise ships for a while. And God granted me this blessing, like right after we split up, He granted me this blessing of going on a cruise ship and being able to pay for like all the expenses that are accrued with going through a split up like that. So after that, I moved to the city, New York, and I'm trying to follow God, and I don't really have a community, so I'm falling back into my old ways. I know that God's a part of my life, but I'm still falling back into the reason I was in that relationship to begin with. And that's when this guy, I was at Wellspring, and he was like, hey man, why don't you come and work out with me or something like that. So me, I don't even know if I went to Faith RX first or if I met Alex first, but there was like this prayer night that we just had at the Montalvo's. It was this impromptu prayer night where I went over there, and Alex and our friend Junie and Pete and Andrea, we ended up praying for like 2 hours. It was crazy. We were just laying blessings over blessings, just like blessings. It was crazy. So, man, and then like just them opening their life to me. And honestly, the biggest thing for me was Peter like giving me an example of like what it's like to be a man in Christ, in a relationship, in a marriage, especially like with where I was. He was like, this is what I do in the morning. I get up and I read the Bible. This is how I talk to my wife about this. This is what I do in this situation. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. That makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I was in this relationship with this really awesome girl. She's my best friend right now. But I knew God was calling me to be like, hey, you know what, Joe, like, you need to be single and you need to work on yourself. And ever since I surrendered that to God and started deciding to like go on this journey by myself, it's been the biggest growth for me. And I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of blessings that have happened in the past like 3